I was surfing on the net and came across Quora with some really great real estate questions. And someone was out there saying, if I want to make $10,000 a month residually, how much money do I need? How much real estate do I need to do? So today on Limitless Wealth TV, I'm going to be answering that question. All right, so today's video is based on a question that comes straight from Quora. I really connected with it because frankly, it was the first real question that I asked myself in real estate. The question reads, if I want to make $10,000 a month from rental properties, how much would be my investment? So the way I look at that is how much money would I really need and how much real estate would I really need to buy if I wanted to produce $10,000 a month residually. So my wife and I, when we were totally dirt poor and we scraped everything together to buy this first property, it was worth like $150,000. I bought it for $110,000. So it had like this $40,000 equity position. Before we even found it, it took us like 14 months to save up $5,000 as like a baby down payment to be able to even do this, right? Because you can get away with 3% down payments on homes when you're first-time home buyer purchaser. So my wife and I, we spent 14 months building up. We bought this house, and after we did, we would rent out the basement. It would pay our mortgage almost entirely, and all of a sudden, our biggest expense was gone. We were living for free, which meant that we could start climbing out of credit card debt. We could start paying things off. And I remember that's when my wife and I had to sit down and said, all right, how much real estate do we need to do to get to $10,000 a month? So when I say I connect with this question, it's because I not only asked it, the answer that I'm about to give you, I lived, and then 4.5 years later, I had more than $10,000 a month residual income, and it worked. And the exact same thing that I did then is the exact same thing that works today. In fact, I love showing people how to do it. So I'll give you a little bit of a taste for it here. And then seriously, if you're new to the channel, you need to subscribe so that I can share with you way more of the details of how did I do it, what were my strategies. You can find it all here. So question, if I want $10,000 a month of residual income, one of the questions is, how much real estate do I need to do? And the other one is, how much money is it going to actually take for me to get there? You know, I give you two totally opposite answers today. I did not have money, so when I actually started doing my real estate, that tiny little down payment I put into that house, essentially I took what I'm going to call a sweat equity path. Now, a sweat equity path means that the first house that I bought, it had $40,000 of equity. And that was important because all I put down was $5,000. But by buying $5,000, I got $40,000 of equity. Now, some of you are watching this like, wait, Kris, you already lost me. What's $40,000 of equity? Real quick, that means that this house had a value of $150,000, and I purchased it for $110,000. So if you take $150,000 and subtract $110,000, you get $40,000. So even though it wasn't like $40,000 cash in the bank, it did mean that if I sold the house today and sold it for that, I would get roughly $40,000. That was important because all I put in was $5,000, and when it came time to buy my next house, I didn't have to come up with money again to do it. I actually accessed some of this equity with what's called a home equity line of credit. That's where a bank basically says, hey, do you have some equity in your home? If you have enough, we'll even give you checkbook access, and you could actually literally write money out of your mortgage. It'll increase your mortgage, but you can go buy stuff with it. Well, I took that money, and guess what I bought? I bought another house. And this house had even more equity in it, but this house bought it. So even with two homes, I was still only $5,000 in. So I want you to know that if I kept doing this and 4.5 years later, I had well over $10,000 a month residual income. How much real estate? I had 25 properties. And those properties were averaging between $350 and $700 a month. So 25 properties were actually, I think, paying about $12,000 a month. This is kind of what's a little unbelievable, how much money I needed to do it. Literally, it was less than $10,000. Now, I call it a sweat equity path because I'm about to give you a second answer. My sweat equity path essentially meant that I let this house buy this house, and then I waited, and I let this house buy that house, and then I moved again with a tiny down payment and used this equity to buy that one. And as it grew, and then I brought in partners, and they put up the down payments, I got into 25 properties. I was collecting $12,000 a month personally. That's when I hit my goal. I quit my job. That all happened in 4.5 years. I was 26 years old when that happened. So That's how little it can take. But if you had someone that just said, Kris, I don't want the sweat equity path. I want to do it way quicker than that. Today, I know how to buy 25 properties in like 6 months using other people's money. And if you haven't been over to my website to learn about partner profits, I actually share with you exactly how I did that. And so I could actually duplicate this over again, just like that. It would be really easy because it's the knowledge that you possess that's most important. But I'll even give you a third way. You might have someone that says, well, Kris, I got money. If I want $10,000 a month and I just want to drop 20% down payments, then going the old school, old fashioned way, you would probably need somewhere around $1 million. $1 million in 90 days could create $10,000 a month residual income. Now, ironically, 10 grand a month, 12 months in a year, it's $120,000 a year. You put in $1 million, you're getting cash on cash, $120,000 back. You're basically making cash on cash about 12% on your money. But I didn't have $1 million, so I did it with 10 grand. So if you're watching this video and you're like, hey, Kris, I would totally love to have a $10,000 a month residual income, then I would either say, do you have $1 million bucks? And if you say yes, I'd say great. And then hike over to my website and my team will actually buy you a bunch of homes that will produce $10,000 a month. If you're saying, and nope, I don't have that, then hike over to the website, and what I'm going to do there is click the Get Started option, and the starter option is me and my team really just sharing with you, how do you do this when you don't have money? Because remember, I didn't even have 10 grand when I got started out the gate. And so if you're looking for how to use other people's money, OPM, if you're looking for how to make a little bit of money go a really long way, you should totally go and check out that course. Many of our YouTubers have had a chance to engage in that. They're in a private Facebook community with me now, learning and growing and doing real estate. So that's what I would recommend. So to answer the question, $10,000 a month, what do you really need? Well, I think that if it's on rental property, you're going to need 25 properties if you're talking about single family homes. How much will it take? I've shown you how to do it with 10,000, and you could also do it with $1 million. Great question. And frankly, I hope the answer was useful for you as well. Listen, if you're not a subscriber, change that. Let's you and I become friends, because guess what? I got a lot more to share with you when it comes to making a lot of money in real estate. We got this one life to live. For heaven's sakes, let's live a meaningful life. And if it's going to take some financial resource to open up and make those dreams come true, let me share with you how you can do that through real estate investing. Check out my website, or it's in the description and the link below, and me and my team will show you how you and I can team up and get making some money in real estate right now.